Okay, so coming to the next topic, that is mobile design. Okay, in this video we'll see about the mobile design. That is just introduction part, and then we'll see the mobile design elements of mobile designing, and the last one, the tools of mobile design. Okay, so when building mobile experiences, it is impossible to create a great experiences without a few ingredients. One is context, second is information architecture, and the third is visual design. Regarding context and information architecture, we have seen in the earlier videos. We have gone through the context also. We have seen the information architecture also. Okay. Now in this section or in this video, we are going to focus on visual design. How your product will be and how your design will be. Okay. It will be so. It is the direct representation of everything underneath. It is the first impression the user will have. Okay, so we need to focus more on visual design, because user first see for this design, then the first impression will be the last impression. So our design must be very good. A great design gives the user high expectation of your site or application. A poor design leads to the lower expectation. If you will see any website or any application having dark colors or having more animations, having heavy website, then you will expect exactly, you will expect something more. Okay, and this leads us to the most significant challenge in mobile design, that is creativity. Okay, so whenever we talk about the visual design, so the creativity comes into picture, and more creativity will be there, so more things and more impact on the user will be there. Okay, so now coming to the very important topic, that is mobile design elements, or the elements of mobile design. So before proceeding with the six element of mobile design, at least think like a designer. Okay, because when until and unless you will think like a designer, you can't get the things. So at least think like a designer. Then doing this involve knowing the six element of mobile design. Okay, so what we are going to learn right now, or we are going to learn the sixth element of mobile design that you need to consider, and you must know about it. Starting with the context and layering in visual element, or laying out the content to achieve the design goal, then you need to understand how to use the specific tool to create mobile design. So we must have enough information of different tools for creating the mobile design effectively. Finally, you need to understand the specific design consideration of the mobile medium also. Okay, so now let us start with the first element of mobile design, that is context. So starting with the context, so we had a discussion regarding context, that this is the word, or this is the term which has lot of question in its. Okay, so let us focus on the question. What is it asking? Context is the core to the mobile experience, and as a designer, it is your job to make sure that the user can figure out how to address context using your application. Because when user will first see your application, so it will be having a lot of question in his mind. So you must be in a position, or your design must answer all those questions. Okay, and those questions may be who are the user. So first, when you are designing, so the very first question, as a designer, it should come in your mind, that who are the user, what do you know about them, what type of behavior can you predict about the user. So this is regarding the user. Second, what is happening, what are the circumstances in which the user will best absorb the content you intend to present. So whatever content you want to present, so will it absorb, or there is a requirement of a special condition in which the user will absorb it. So when will they interact? Are they at home and have large amount of time, and are they at work where they have very short period of time? So you need to consider this timing constraint also. So where are the user? Are they in a public space or a private space? Are they inside or outside? Is it day or it is night? So you need to think for this micro level also. So why will they use your application, and what value will they gain from your content or services in their present situation? And then the sixth one, how are they using their mobile devices? Is it held in their hand or in their pocket? So you can just imagine that what kind of questions they are asking, and you need to be in situation to answer these questions also. How are they holding it, open or closed, portrait or landscape? All these questions will becomes under this context mode. Okay, so this is the very first mobile design element. Okay, so which is to be considered by each and every mobile designer. Coming to the next topic or the next element, that is message. So message is basically not that kind of message we see in the email or in the mobile. So this is the message which the designer wants to give to the user. Okay, so this is the element, what you are trying to say about your site or application visually. So what actually you want to present regarding your application or your website. One might also call it as a branding. Okay, so how effectively you are branding your product or your application or your website. So your message is the overall mental impression you create explicitly through visual design. Okay, so whatever message we are displaying, so that is the impression we are pressing on the user's mind. Users don't care about your brand, but they will care about the messaging, asking themselves question like, what can this do for me, or why is this important to me? Okay, so your approach is the design will define the message, and it will create an expectation. And we had a discussion about it also, that heavy design with use of dark colors and lot of graphics will tell the user to expect something more immersive. Okay, so these are some kind of messages which we are trying to put on the user's mind. Okay, now by looking all these images, you can just think what all these screens are giving the messages. From right hand side, you can consider the Amazon's website, where not where a lot of space is empty, and few images and few text is placed. The second was the well structured, the text is placed over here, some information is placed over here. In the third one, a lot of graphic, lot of images and colors have been used. In the fourth one, few colors and images have been used. In the fifth one, the well structured structures are placed in a very structured format, so they have placed according to their requirement. Come to the third element, that is look and feel. Okay, so when we talk about the look and feel, so this is all about the appearances. Okay, so if we talk about the look and feel, then this is all about the appearances of the product or the design. So establishing a look and feel usually comes from whenever design inspiration comes. So whatever company has produced a HIG, that is human interface guideline. So according to these guidelines, have you created or have you developed your application according to the look and feel is according to the HIG, that is human interface guideline, or how to use them similarly to the pattern library. So have you used or have you created them using this HIG or not? So during the Apple Store submission also, when as a designer or as a developer, if you are submitting your application to the Apple Store, then Apple ensure that the developer uses these tool correctly according to the HIG. Okay, so the look and feel, whatever look and feel we have expected from the HIG, that will be there in the application. You will see the example in this slide, that different look and feel of websites are shown to you. Okay, so in the first one you can see lot of content with the sitemap is displayed. The second one, only text is displayed. In third one or two images are also displayed. So likewise, the different website or application are having different experiences and different look and feel. Come to the next one, that is layout. Okay, so layout is an important design element because it is how the user will usually process the page. Okay, so basically you are having information, and how this information is to be placed and how is to be structured will come under the layout. So layout is an important design element, and the structure and visual component of the layout often get merged together, creating confusion and making your design more difficult to produce. The first time layout should rear its head is during the information architecture. Okay, so you can see the different layout. The one example of the layout, will just zoom it so that will come to know. So this is the layout of your application. On the top of your application there will be the two title, then bold title, then some text and some tabs will be there. Then at the bottom some icons will be placed. Okay, so this is the travel game blueprint. Okay, so this is one application, or we can say one game. So this is all about the layout. Okay, now coming to the next one, that is color. This is the fifth element, we can say design element, is the color. Okay, when we talk about the color, so it doesn't comes in the black and white book or in the TV. So the most common obstacle you encounter when dealing with the color is mobile screens, and all the mobile screens having different binary digits, or we can say number of different colors or bit depth. Okay, you can see in the image 16-bit color, 12-bit color, 24-bit color, 18-bit color. So different color depth are having different quality. This is the table in which different bit depth, that is 12, 16, 18, 24 bit depth are having how many colors, then their description and their example device are shown. Psychology of the color. Now the color plays a very important and vital role in the psychological domain, because different colors plays different role in different culture in different places. Okay, so people respond to different colors differently. It is fairly well known that different colors produce different emotions in people. Using the right colors can be useful for delivering the right message and setting expectation. Note what some of the different colors can mean in different cultures. Something to consider when thinking to deploying your mobile experiences. Okay, we'll see the one table, that is color and what it represent. Okay, so in different culture and different it has a different representation. The white color represent light, references purity, truth, snow, peace, innocence. So all these words, you can see the keywords are placed over here. So in the same way, for white, the black is also having absence, modernity, power, sophistication, formality. Then gray, yellow, green, blue, and each and every color having some meaning and some representation. Then color palettes. So defining color palettes can be useful for maintaining a consistent use of color in your mobile design. It is not like that you are using one color in the top of your application, then you are changing the color, then again you are changing the color, then again you are changing the color. It should not be like that. Okay, so we have defined the color palettes for it. So color palettes typically consist of a predefined number of colors to use throughout the design. Okay, so if we define that we have to use two colors throughout the design or throughout the mobile application, then we have to use two colors only. Okay, so that is the color palettes. So selecting what colors to use varies from designer to designer, each having different techniques and strategies for deciding on the colors. Some of the designer use make use of the white and black color. Some will use yellow, green, or any other colors. Okay, so as far as this book is concerned, we have found different color palettes. One is the sequential, second is adaptive, and third is the inspired one. In sequential, we are having primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. Often the primary color is reserved as the brand color, or the color that most closely resemble the brand's meaning. Okay, secondary and tertiary colors are often complementary colors, so they will be used sometime, but the branding color will be the first one, that is primary color. So his kind of palette is nothing but the sequential palette. The second one is the adaptive one. In adaptive, when creating a design that is meant to look native on the device, I use an adaptive palette to make sure that my colors are consistent with the target mobile platform. Okay, so these are some proprietary kind of adaptive palettes. The third one is the inspired one. This is the design that is created from the great pieces of design you might see online or offline. If you have seen some design or colors somewhere else, then you are inspired, and then you are using those colors. Okay, so the one palette, the last palette, is the inspired one. Okay, so these are regarding the color palettes. Come to the next design element, that is the sixth element of the mobile design, which is typography. In short, or in simple, we can say the typography is nothing but the font type and font faces. Okay, so changing and keeping the right font and size and style in your application or in your website will impact more on the user. So traditionally in mobile design, you had only one typeface that you could use, and that was the device font. In the earlier phone, we were having only one kind of one style of font, and we have to use that only. Even we cannot change the size of the font. The only control over the presentation was the size. So we can just in the later devices, we make it possible, and we could be able to change the size of the font also. Subpixel and pixel density. So as you can see, different mobile devices are having different diagonals, having 2.6 inch of a screen. Okay, so the pixels are 240 by 320. It means per pixel per inches. So in 1 inches, how many pixels will be there? 153 pixels will be there. Okay, so for each for like Apple iPhone 3G, Amazon Kindle, HTC Dream, Sony, Nokia, for all these phones, these informations are present. The typography type option. So the type option is the one which from which you can change the type phase, that is the font can be changed. Okay, then graphics. The final design element is a graphic, that is images that is used to establish visual experiences. Okay, so in your application, in your mobile design or in your website design, you may use the different types of graphics, that is audio, video, images, animations. You all can use it. So the graphics can be used to supplement the look and feel. Okay, and again, iconography. The most common form of graphic used in mobile design is icons. So different kinds of icon can be used. Iconography is useful to communicate ideas and actions. Okay, and then in this, photos and images and animations and videos can be used to form the application or website look and feel very good. Okay, so these all are the different mobile design elements. Just let us will go through all the design element what we have seen till now. So the first one, the design element, the first one was the context, then message, what message you want to give to the user, then look and feel, that is the appearance of the design, then layout, then color, we are having different color depth, then we are having psychology of the color impression is different for different religion, different location, and having different emotions. Then color palettes, having sequential, adaptive, and inspired color palettes. Then typography. In typography having different dimensions. In typography having different type options. Graphics. In graphics we are having iconography, and then we can use different kinds of icon, images, and photos can be images, photos, and different kinds of graphics can be used. Okay, the last topic, that is mobile design tool. Mobile design requires understanding the design element and specific tool. Okay, so here we are going to use different we are not going to use the here we can use different kind of mobile designing tool, so that the design will be good and will create an impact on the user. The closest thing to a common design tool is the Adobe Photoshop, though each framework has a different method of implementing the design into the application. We'll see the diagram in that for each and every mobile framework we are having different design tool, the interface toolkit, all these informations are already present. So different tools can be used. You can see mostly Photoshop, HTML, CSS and JavaScript are used, and then Flash is also used for creating all this designing. Okay, so this is all about the design tool also. Okay, thank you so much.